Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks again for tuning in. You guys were really interested in my marathon training videos and have asked for more running videos, more training videos, all that kind of stuff. But of course I'm not training for a marathon and don't plan on doing so anytime soon at least. So I thought I'd show you what my goals are and how I'm gonna get there. So my primary goal at the moment is trying to get 5k PB. So it is Saturday morning at the moment. It is 7:45. This morning I'm going to do a park run in Fulham Palace, which is in London. Basically, park run is a 5k run that's free for people to do. It happens every Saturday, 9 AM, various different places around the world actually, but like lots of different places around London. And you can just sign up and then you have a barcode and then you can do the race and it gives you an official time basically for a 5k. So what I thought I'd do was show, you know, how I'm getting ready for the race itself. Probably not going to be filming whilst I'm running, but like show you how it goes, and then what I'm going to be doing to get a 5k PB before the end of the year. So my 5k time at the moment is 21 minutes and 18 seconds. That was done during a park run as well. I don't want to be signing up for races that you have to pay for, so I'm just going to try and get these done in park runs because it's cheap. I am going to have to work hard to beat that because that was done during my training for my marathon way back in February. I was running 3 times a week, I was doing speed sessions, I was doing longer sessions, and basically I was prepping really well for a race. Now I've been prepping for literally nothing since my boxing fight, and so I'm gonna have to do a little bit of work to get back into it. So I'm gonna share that journey with you and share my top tips for getting a 5k PB or any other basically short races, anything that requires a bit of speed work basically. So without further ado, gonna go and get a coffee because I definitely need it before I race, and then we're gonna head off. So usually I would just drink decaf, but because I'm actually doing exercise this morning, I feel like I can actually kind of like burn off the caffeine because otherwise it makes me really anxious. So I'm just gonna have this now. It's a mocha, basically. That's really good. So I'm gonna have that and probably like a bar or something. I don't want to eat too much because the race is in an hour and that's not enough time to digest full breakfast, so I'm gonna have breakfast when I get back. Yo, Ben!
Stop.
It's just started raining, which is nice, and we're just on the way, jogging down to the start line. We've got about 20 minutes to go and do a little bit of a warm up and then get going. Ben is an incredibly good runner, so he's going to show us all up. It's going to be really exciting to see how fast I can go, although it is super windy at the moment and raining of course, so not exactly PB weather, but I'm going to make it work. Yeah, 15 minutes should do.
Minutes is fine for me.
Yeah, you're very fast. Bearing in mind that the park run PB is like 13 minutes and 40 seconds or something. Do you think you can beat that?
What? Beat what?
13 minutes and 40 seconds.
I can for the first kilometre.
Well done. How are you feeling about today's race?
Excuse me, parkrun is not a race.
Yes, I like that mentality.
It's in their tagline.
I'm so sorry everyone. How are you feeling about today's race?
Let's get it.
Yeah, no, I'm going easy. I've got
Massive wind, headwind.
I have no idea what it is, but...
That was the most horrendous park run I've ever done. It was so windy. How did you find it? Yeah, 25-mile-an-hour gusts all the way along the river, which is basically most of the run. But my Strava says, I think I did it pretty quickly. My watch said 21 minutes, which would be a PB, which totally defeats the purpose of this video. How did you find it, Zoz? Windy. Zoz isn't happy. How did you find it? Ben smashed it in just over 17 minutes, which is disgusting. And my dad should be coming through any time now. Oh god, that was horrible. Horrible. Good, Daddy! Woo! Good, Papa! Smashed it! Woo! Go, Charlotte! Woo! Yes! I just got back from parkrun and I got my results back and it says I did it in 20 minutes and 45 seconds. Can you see that? Yeah. It says Fulham Palace parkrun results for event number 306. Your time was 20:45, which of course would be a 33 second PB, which would be awesome. My Strava and my watch both recorded it as either 4.7 or 4.8k, which makes it not a PB. And if I did that for 5k, that would be 22 minutes and 15 seconds, which of course is nowhere near a PB. It's a minute off. So I'm gonna go on the fact that I did it in 22:15 and not 20:45. That'd be awesome, but it definitely didn't happen. Yeah, like panic over, or excitement over, I guess. But to be fair, that would have totally defeated the purpose of doing this entire video about how to get a 5k PB. It's like, oh, just run one. It will happen, which of course is not the case. Recently, I've just been doing loads of gym workouts and running like to and from things. So I'll run to the gym, which is 4 to 5k, and then I'll run to the post office, which is like 3k, and just do things like that, which means that I'm getting in runs that actually have a purpose without actually having to kind of go out to try and like smash out a 10k, 15k run, which is obviously what I was doing for the marathon training. I'm going to run through some of my top tips that I've been told by my running coach and my physio to get a 5k PB, and I'm going to be putting them into practice over the next few weeks. Unfortunately, by about 2k in this run, my IT band really hurt, so I hate to have to say this, but I think I'm gonna have to not run for a little bit, which is so annoying. It's so annoying. It's been good since the marathon. I did a 10k like a month and a half after the marathon and it was fine. I did a 10 miler a month after that and it was fine, and yet I do a 5k and it just like twists and basically is blown up again. But I'm gonna take it easy over the next week or two and fingers crossed it will heal itself, and I'm going to keep doing all my physio exercises and working in the gym as well as actually out running. Top tips coming up. Here are my top 5 tips for getting a 5k PB. First tip. This is going to sound super obvious to a lot of you, but just get out there. I get so many messages being like, how do I start running? And I'm like, well, you can't start running without actually going out to run. It does sound super obvious, but I think people are thinking of excuses like I haven't got the right shoes, I haven't got the right, you know, rain jacket, sports bra. Get yourself a nice pair of shoes, get yourself a rain jacket if it rains a lot where you are, which obviously it does in England. Get yourself some good socks and you're kind of good to go. You know, even if it's just 2-3k, even if it's just 1k, getting out there and starting running is the only way that you can start running. Sign up for parkrun. That is one of the best ways that you can kind of get into the community of running. You have a set place to go every week. Saturday at 9 AM, it has laid out the distance for you, so you know exactly how far you're going and you can track your time over the course of, you know, however many weeks that you're training. And that is also a great way, if you don't want to be spending money on signing up for races, it's totally free. You can kind of figure out what your 5k time is now, train for 2 months or whatever, and then by the end of it, hopefully you'll have a faster time on exactly the same course. So you've got like a way of assessing yourself over a period of time. That I mean, I can't recommend parkrun more. If you can't have parkrun, try and figure out an exactly 5k race around where you are and work on that course basically over however long that you're training for. For me, I'm going to be doing it all with parkrun because I don't want to be paying for different race tickets and stuff. The downside is that it's only on Saturdays at 9 AM, so if you're not around at Saturdays 9 AM then you can't do it. So I'm just probably going to be doing it sporadically as and when I'm in London because there's not one near my boyfriend's house, so I'll be trying to do those over the next few months. I would say run 3 times a week. This is all still part of the getting out there sort of thing. Run 3 times per week, run any distance, whether that's running to the post office or to your local shops and then, you know, carrying your stuff back, or, you know, to brunch or whatever it is. Just run somewhere 3 times a week and that will get your legs moving, get yourself used to running. Initially don't try and do it too fast, just get out there and do something. Finding running buddies as well is a really good way of doing it. You know, if you're gonna over the weekend go for brunch somewhere, you know, say why don't we run there together, then you can walk back, get the bus back, whatever it is. Run to and from things like I said, and also make sure you have the right kit. As I said at the beginning, a really good thing to invest in is a running backpack or vest. That means that it can hold your phone, your keys, a running jacket, your wallet, basically anything that you need if you're running to and from places. You can get ones of different sizes. My 2 favorite ones, which I'll link down below, are the Columbia 7-litre one that I use for trail running and an Asics 5-litre one that I use for basically everything else, both of which are absolute godsends. My second piece of advice is incorporate speed sessions. So you're never going to get faster if you don't run faster. Good way of doing this is on the track. So if you have an athletics track near you, you can run intervals. And interval sessions, there are so many different types that you can do, so I'm not going to go into all of them here. Just Google it. There are loads. But what you can do is try and do intervals at your goal 5k pace. So you get used to what that actually feels like, and then have a minute off or whatever, half a minute and a half off in between each interval, and then do it again. And the key to this is staying consistent over the intervals. So don't set yourself, you know, something crazy fast and then you burn out before you've even gotten to the third one. You'll get used to it over time, but doing those sorts of sessions are a really good way of building up your speed and getting some speed in the legs and some strength, and making you understand what it feels like to be running at that pace. If you don't have a track near you, not a problem. Try to do intervals by time on the road. It's obviously a nightmare if you're trying to cross over roads and stuff, or trying to dodge people, so try and find somewhere that is a little bit quieter, or at a time that's a little bit quieter, and preferably a straight road so that you're not like bending around corners and stuff. So if you can, do sort of 1 minute at your goal 5k pace, 30 seconds slower, 1 minute, 30 seconds, etc, etc, for as much as you like, basically. So speed sessions are super important to learn how to run faster. Third is sort of the opposite of that, so do longer runs. If you're running 5k and you've only been doing speed sessions, say up to 4k, you don't even know that you can run the distance at that speed. So running longer runs, say 8, 9, 10k, even longer, whatever, are a good way of making sure that your body has the staying power over the 5k race. Basically, a variety of runs will prep your body for running quicker and shorter races. I think what a lot of people do is they go out and they've got their comfy route at their comfortable pace, and they're like, I'm not improving, why am I not improving? And it's like, you're doing the same thing over and over again, so you're not going to get different results from that. And I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with. I certainly did. I spent so long just being like, I'm just going to plod around 4k at this, you know, pace, and I was just getting 23:30 every single time I did a 5k, and it was just infuriating. Then I was like, oh, that's because I'm running 5k at 24 minutes every single time. So when it got to the actual race, I didn't have the staying power at a faster pace, I didn't have any practice at running at a faster pace, and basically I was never going to get a quicker time. So now I do short runs and I do long runs, do speed sessions, and basically all mixed together that can lead to a faster pace. Tip number 4 is specific to the race that you're doing. So if you're trying to get a 5k PB on a particular course, make sure that you know the course and you understand the undulations, you understand the terrain that you're going to be running on. There's no point running on road over 5k in all your training and then turning up to a trail race with your road running shoes and expecting to be able to run a hilly trail race as a 5k PB. That's never going to happen. So understand the terrain that you're going to be running on, understand the course that you're going to do, and actually if you're doing park runs every week or every other week or whatever it is, you're going to know the course inside out by the time you're actually aiming for that 5k PB. But it is something that I think people can forget, that your running style is specific to the terrain that you're running on, as well as your kit as well is also specific to that. So I have 3 pairs of trail running shoes for kind of mountainous, hilly stuff that's on grass, and then I have road running shoes as well that's super useful for doing things like my local park run. Know the course that you're going to do. If you don't know where the turns are and you don't know where the hills are, you're probably going to crash and burn at some point, because either you've gone out too fast or you just haven't gone out fast enough, or you don't know how to do hills because you never practiced them. Just make sure you know the course inside out before you go for that 5k PB. Then on the day of the race, this is my 5th tip, make sure that you get your nutrition right. A 5k is not a long race. It may feel like it for a lot of people, it certainly did for me, but comparatively we have all the energy in our body that we need for a 5k, assuming that you're eating right all the time. You don't need to carb load for a 5k, you barely need to carb load for a 10k. So eat as little breakfast as you can get away with before the race. The great thing about these races is they're usually early-ish in the morning. You're not starving by the time you get to it. But if you want something, eat about 2 hours before the race if you can. If you're not too fussed, then you know, you can just have a coffee or whatever you feel comfortable with. I think a lot of people try different nutrition regimes, maybe try gel or something on their first race. This usually goes horribly wrong because your body's not used to fueling itself off those particular things. I'm sure if you're a runner, you've experienced the horrible experience of having a gel and it like churning up in your stomach and basically you needing to poo by about 2 kilometers into the race. And now if you're not a runner, you think this is far too much information, but let me tell you, if you are a runner, you will have experienced this at some point, probably, especially in a race, and you get the mix of adrenaline, anxiety, probably a coffee. Your body is like, we need to get rid of everything. So don't be adding new things to your routine on the day of the race itself. You can practice race day routine in advance of races. So if you are trying to do just kind of practicing your 5Ks and you want to do a test 5K, maybe on a different course or whatever, practice your race day routine for your actual PB on that day when it doesn't really matter whether you're going to be getting a 5K PB or not, but you're trying to do something fast. That way, your body is used to doing what it's going to be doing on that morning. And this is what I was told for my marathon. Obviously, I was going to be super jet lagged. I wasn't going to be able to have food, you know, right up to the race, so I was going to have to be eating really early in the morning. So what I did with my training is basically run late at night, having eaten 2 hours beforehand, which would have been the equivalent of running early in the morning in Tokyo, so that my body was used to running when it was a little bit tired and fatigued, when it had had food 2 hours before, and then training on gels as well. It's different for a 5K race. You don't need gels, you don't need any of that kind of stuff, but just experiencing what it's going to feel like on race day is a really good idea if you're trying to get that PB. So those are all of my tips, a couple for training, and so 3 for training and a couple for race day routine itself and all that kind of stuff. Really hope they were helpful. Some of them may have seemed really obvious for you experienced runners. This is not aimed at you, but good luck anyway. I really hope you enjoyed that and found it useful. If you did, or have your own training or race day tips, comment them below. Come and find me on Instagram, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye!